Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. This show is all about inspiring, empowering, and educating you through life's transitions. And I have a very special guest in the studio today, my friend Linda Fisk. Oh my God, this woman is amazing. Talk about women leadership and women empowerment. Linda is a multi-award winning CEO, TEDx speaker, 5-time national best-selling author, U.S. Senator for WBAF TV, and podcast host, keynote speaker, and university professor dedicated to amplifying and extending the success of other high caliber business leaders. She's way more than that. That's just a little glimpse into it. And what we're going to talk about today is women empowerment and women in leaders, and how what Linda says is no one does this alone. So we all need the help and support today. And so many of us out here think we have to do it on our own, and that is not the case. So she's got an extraordinary story, background, an incredible community, and I'm so honored and grateful to have her on the show. So make sure you stick around for the interview. Make sure you stay till the end, because we end every episode with a powerful mantra meditation as we anchor in everything that we talk about today, so that you can leave here feeling better at the end than you did at the beginning. So if this is your first time here, welcome to I Have Today. It's a thrill and a privilege to have you. And if you've been here before, welcome back. We are streaming live right now on E360 TV on the I Have Today TV network. And you can find us everywhere: Roku, Hulu, Apple, Amazon, as well as YouTube and all the other streaming platforms for social media. And we take this TV show and uploaded it as a podcast as well. So you can find us on all the podcast platforms as well, which, by the way, we are ranked top 2% globally, which we just recently found out. So the team and I are so proud of that. So thank you so much for being here. Now, we start every episode out with an intention statement. And today's intention statement is, I have today to surround myself with powerful leaders. And you do. Because like Linda said, and she's going to talk all about it, that we don't do it alone. Why do we think that we can? And why do we try to do it when we're so much better together and we lift each other up? So you do have today to do that. So what we do every week on this show is my team makes the most beautiful graphics of our intention statement. There it is on screen right now. And where can you find that? Well, if you hop on over to my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, go to my profile, and there's a little button there that says intention statements. This graphic is already there, and it's there for you to click on it and use as your wallpaper, so that every time you look at your phone this week, it is your constant reminder. And that is how we create lasting, positive, permanent change, by creating habits like that. That's your reminder that you're not in this journey alone, that you can powerfully lead better together with other women. So before we get ready to bring Linda up, let's hear a word from our sponsor, the Spifter. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Well, hello, Linda. How are you?
Hello, Diane. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your amazing program, I Have Today, on an incredible network. You have developed such a powerful platform to uplift, to motivate, to inspire. Thank you.
Well, thank you for those beautiful words and all your incredible support. Well, I'm really looking forward to our conversation today. But before we get into it, I want to share a little bit more about you with our audience. So Linda is the chairwoman of LeadHERship Global. It's a community of unstoppable women enhancing their leadership blueprint and embracing their power to be the best version of themselves in work and life. In Leadership Global, Linda supports and guides ambitious, creative women to move in the direction of their purpose, their mission, and their dreams with powerful connections, critical support, practical tools, and valuable resources to show up, speak up, and step up in their careers and personal lives. And you do so much more. You've created incredible community. And yes, so it's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much, Diane. It's lovely to be with you and to be able to meet your audience and to be a part of this incredibly fast-growing network that you yourself are creating.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. And we are, soul sisters alike in our vision and mission to help and support women all over the world, and personally and professionally. And that's why I really wanted to introduce you to our audience, because you and I don't even know each other that long, and you've already had such a profound positive effect on my life, and your ability to give so generously is just a testament to who you are. And so where I'd like to go first is because everybody has a story. You have this incredible background. I didn't even get into the part that, you're a clinical psychologist and you've written multiple best-selling books and all the work in your background that led you to where you are today. Your background in media, there's so many things, marketing, you've done a lot. So what is your story? What was the journey and the path that brought you to want to empower women in this way?
I began to observe throughout my career that bringing together leaders who were united in purpose, united in sort of their pursuit of solving a big problem, a big obstacle. It could be everything from climate change and the water shortage to simply making education more equitable within their community. But by bringing leaders together, we were able to overcome some of the most daunting, some of the most challenging issues and problems, some of the most really challenging issues that any community, any group of people were facing. And as I began to really observe that, whether it's uniting people from NGOs as well as government entities, the private sector, the public sector, if these leaders were united in purpose, and if they were united in overcoming an obstacle, solving a problem, finding a solution, then absolutely the amount of change possible was transformational. But I also observed at the same time that bringing leaders together can be remarkably impactful. I also noticed that women often face socioeconomic, cultural, political barriers that men don't. To be a part of that solutioning, to be a part of the conversation of being able to create impact in the world, whether that's access to a corporate board seat, whether that is being invited to a think tank, or whether that is simply being able to escalate their influence in a corporate setting, or being able to get access to funding through VCs to be able to really expand their own enterprise, their own business. So as I began noticing these two directives, that one, bringing leaders together can equal transformative change, and two, women are often left out of the opportunity to do that, I thought it is so necessary to have the voice of women, the leadership of women, the innovation, the ideas, the creativity, the resources of women at the helm to overcome some of the most daunting issues that we're facing as a population, as a community, and as a generation of people. So I wanted to create a community of leaders that allows everyone to have an outlet to continuously learn and improve in a confidential setting and get exposed to new ways of approaching problems and issues, as well as new ways of leveraging opportunities. And I think that that is really what we've created at LeadHERship Global.
I mean, there's so much there to unpack. It's incredible how you did that. And I love that innovative thinking of, there's a problem and then there's the solution and then there's the gap in between, and you filled it so beautifully. And I've experienced that. I know some of the women in your community, some of the women are coming in. They're going to guest appear on my show, and as well as our the other shows that we have. Our other hosts are featuring them because they're all doing your community and our community, but your community is doing incredible work. Every woman that I've met has been simply stellar in her, clear understanding of her vision and mission and where she's going, how she's using her life and the resources together. And you tapped on a couple of things that are so powerful. We women are capable of doing anything. We literally are. We are the creators of life. We have the ability to do many things that men can, and no disrespect to men, but it's time for the female leaders in the world to really take their position and their roles in making drastic positive changes and solving these big problems in the world. Because if we look at history and what's gone on, and things just continue to get worse, where we can come in and we know what to do. Like, women get it done. We just get it done, right? Yeah. So,
and I think it's more important now than ever, Diane, to be intentional and purposeful about the relationships that you invest in. You've got to choose a leadership community that supports your unique purpose, that helps you improve the growth and profitability of your organization, but also that helps you grow and develop as a leader and as a professional. You have to surround yourself with people who are going to deeply invest in your success. And I think you need to surround yourself with people that you can learn from. I think every single woman in leadership, in fact, everyone in leadership, needs access to best practices on key issues, to receive honest, objective advice and guidance from people that they admire, people that they respect, who have no conflict of interest, and to collaborate with leaders to work on the business, not just in the business. And I will tell you that now more than ever, time is incredibly scarce, and you have to be intentional and discerning around the people that you surround yourself with. You want to be around people who are going to lift you up, cheer you on, people who are going to give you advice that is solid and grounded. And I will tell you, Aristotle very famously said, excellence is not an act, it is a habit. So getting in the habit of surrounding yourself with people that will push you, people that will challenge you, people that will help you grow as a professional is so important. And there was recently a study that came out from a group called Stein and Partners about leadership communities and where leaders learn and grow. And they said that those leaders that were part of a community of like-minded leaders experience an average revenue growth rate of 5% above the prior year. Now, you may say 5% revenue growth is great, but gosh, I'm looking for 20% revenue growth. Well, compare that to an industry average of less than 2%. So the industry average across industries in terms of revenue growth rate is about 2%. And yet leaders that are a part of an executive community where they have relationships that deeply invest in their success, they're able to double that revenue growth rate. That's literally more than 200% faster growth. And executives who set aside time to attend leadership learning events, leadership networking exchanges, they experience dramatically superior operating results too. In fact, members of these kinds of organizations enjoyed operating margins of 22% in the prior year versus an overall average of, get this, 10%. So again, more than twice the productivity and profitability from simply the network that you are a part of, simply the relationships that you invest in.
That is so staggering and exciting to hear that. And I think what really women need to know, leaders in general need to know, that you really don't know, and you really cannot read the label from inside the bottle. And when you're exposed to other leaders who have your best interest, and you're all like-minded and sharing and collaborating, and for the greatest good of all, you are going to see that. You are going to see that happen, because one idea, one revelation can turn the whole thing around. It's just so incredible, because I've seen it too. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so, yeah.
And, you know, we know intuitively, I think, exactly what you said. Social networks are critical for professional advancement, for the opportunity to grow and scale your business. But I recently read research from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University that tells us that men versus women need very different kinds of networks to actually succeed. Because women in executive leadership, they, as I noted at the very beginning, they face cultural, political, socioeconomic hurdles that men typically do not. They actually benefit from an inner circle of close female contacts. And in that inner circle, they can share private, really confidential information. And women face a greater challenge in networking to find those professional opportunities, those career advancement opportunities. And so they, more than men, need to maintain both a wide network and an informative inner circle in order to land the best positions, in order to secure the most advantageous opportunities, in order to learn about unique benefits and privileges and opportunities that otherwise they may not ever know about. But I will say the good news is that by taking a really smart approach, women can continue to find really meaningful advancement options, whether you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, or you're a corporate leader, or you're new to the C-suite. By identifying and connecting with people who are connected to multiple networks, that can be a key strategy. Build a really large network, but as a woman, it's so important that you have a close inner circle of other women that support you, that champion you, that advise you and encourage you.
So powerful, and it's so true. I have a very small network. We're part of a small forum. There's 3 of us, and we meet on a regular basis, and it is always the most inspiring, empowering 2 hours that we spend together. And we go deep into, you know, we do our assessments, we gauge everything, and so look at everything from you know, personally to professionally and in between. And we call it the 5%, you know, the 5% that nobody knows about, that nobody talks about. You know, we share 95% of us with the rest of the world, and we sacredly have this 5% for all those hidden things that no, you know.
Lovely. I love that.
Yeah, it's through Zadasi, if you've ever heard of him. Yeah, amazing. It's formed by a man for his wife and his daughters. He thought, you know, female leadership. So yeah, that's definitely something we should talk about, and I should make an introduction, because you would love that. And I always walk away. Now these 2 have completely different backgrounds and networks of people than me, and it's always this, you know, illuminating experience and expansion is what happens. So much expansion. So that is, yeah, you know, we need that too. You're so right, because I belong to a lot of networking communities, and I have, you know, within the communities, I've got my core group that I kind of, you know, have resonated with, and that serves a purpose. And then other, you know, business groups that I belong to, and I'm part of another organization that is predominantly male. And I see the difference in our leadership and the way we operate. And I'm always, you know, in his ear going, we might want to think about doing this, you know, and Yeah, how you're saying this is just, it's so good. And for anyone out there, especially you women who are watching, and I know there's a few good men who are watching us too, that if you're not part of a community, Linda, how would you suggest that they start getting involved? What would you say they should do first?
If you're interested in joining LeadHERship Global, then all you have to do is reach out to me on LinkedIn, Facebook. You're welcome to drop me a note on the website. And I do try to be very, very responsive to anyone who's looking to plug into a really powerful, influential group of women that will lift you up, that will cheer you on, that will provide unbiased, objective guidance. If you're a man and you're interested in being able to connect with really powerful, influential, other successful leaders across every industry, then our sister network is called C-Suite Network. And C-Suite is also an incredible platform that brings together heart-centered, purpose-driven, extraordinary leaders, both men and women, for dynamic exchange, for idea generation, for problem solving. And so either way, whether you're a man interested in a network, we have C-Suite Network. You're a woman who really wants to be connected with other extraordinary, influential women leaders, we have LeadHERship Global. But I will tell you that by combining the research on the characteristics of an effective network, we know about the gender differences in networking and how our social networks actually affect our well-being. And many experts suggest that there are actually 9 different types of people that everyone should have in their network. And part of my work with the women of LeadHERship Global is to build out their global network, ensuring that they have all 9 of these people as their confidants, their mentors, their co-strivers, their connectors within their personal board of advisors. So we create a personal board of advisors for every single woman in LeadHERship Global. And we make sure that there are all 9 of the critical types of relationships that they need in order to build their business, extend their influence, amplify their profile, and also really invest in their own well-being.
That's so fantastic. I did not know that. Yeah, I'll be joining. I'll be signing up for sure. Yeah. So, all right. So, Linda, what is currently exciting you? What are you working on right now that's exciting you?
You know, a couple things. We are on the brink of a brand new year. And so for LeadHERship Global, that means that we get to invite a whole new sort of generation of leaders to not only join our network, but step into leadership within our network. So within our community, we have women who have deeply invested in the success of other women and who are purpose-driven to lift women up, to help them succeed, to help them accelerate their success. And we are lifting these incredible, powerful leaders into positions of influence within LeadHERship Global. Some will run roundtables, some will run workshops, some will become ambassadors, some will become spokespeople of LeadHERship Global. And so I'm so excited to see the new leaders that are stepping into positions of influence and power in LeadHERship Global, who are going to absolutely be transformational in the lives of women all over the world. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also really excited about some of our programming that we're introducing in the next year. The programming is really to help women introduce a business, grow a business, scale a business, or deepen the valuation of the business and reduce the risk associated with that business in order to exit at the highest premium possible. So we help women not only develop their personal lives, we help them be seen and visible. We help them raise their visibility, extend their thought leadership, amplify their profile. But we also help them ensure that they're able to accelerate their financial success within their business. So we have a whole new cadre of roundtables and workshops and forums that we are introducing next year to be able to do that. I'm super excited about that as well. And probably the biggest, I think, tentpole event that we will do next year happens on International Women's Day, March 8th. And we are going to have an all-day event called the Women's Wealth Symposium. The Women's Wealth Symposium runs from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It'll have an award ceremony, lunch, cocktail reception. It's going to be held at one of the most beautiful hotels here in Dallas, Texas. It's sponsored by Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, and Chase Bank. All of those sponsors have given generously to allow us to sell tickets for literally less than $65. So it's an incredible opportunity of connection. We're expecting to have 500 women there to learn about financial empowerment, to learn about how they can define financial freedom in their own lives and take control, take personal agency over their financial success. So we're really, really excited about that.
That is amazing. Yes, I did see that, and I plan on attending that as well. And you brought up a good point. I'm glad you're doing that on International Women's Day, and you're devoting the whole day to, financial education because, and empowerment, as you said, because that's one of the things that women really struggle with. Their relationship with money, their net worth, versus their self-worth. There's a lot asking for money, feeling deserving of money. And so to create a whole day with all of these experts that's extraordinary. Really, really.
It really is. And we're going to have women from all over the nation that will come and speak. We're inviting Ann Kennedy. She's going to take the stage. She runs one of the largest VC capital firms in the world, 100% dedicated to women-owned, women-operated businesses. Her fund is worth well over $10 billion, and she dedicates 100% of that fund to being able to invest in women-owned, women-operated businesses. We have Kelly Ann Winjet. She owns one of the largest private equity funds in the United States, and she dedicates 60% of private equity funding in women-owned, women-operated businesses and businesses owned by people of color. So again, one of the largest private equity funds, one of the largest VC capital funds in the US are going to be joining us and telling us about how they distribute funding, what the criteria is. We're going to have women who have had some of the largest exits of their own companies in the history of Texas and across the United States. And they're going to tell us about bootstrapping their business from the ground up, growing it, scaling it, preparing it for exit, and then securing an exit that was hundreds of millions of dollars. Again, some of the largest exits of women and women of color, not only in the state of Texas, but in the entire United States.
That is so fantastic. And it's so wonderful for women to hear the story from the very beginning because, our television network, I'm so proud of it, but we're only a year into the development of this and I know where we're going. I can see it. So to go and hear the stories, bootstrapping it, building it the way we want to build it, creating what we want to create. This is for all of you out there that are listening to this. If you have an idea, that's the seed, and that seed, that acorn does not just turn into the oak tree. It can turn into the forest of oak trees, like the potential for it when you surround yourself with the right leaders and the right support. So that's what you need to do. So, all right. Well, we're definitely going to have information about that as well. So, I want to just, before I'm going to ask you two final questions, but I want to ask you if you could be real and authentic, because I think it's important for people to know the struggles too. And not that you've had struggles, but what has been or is the biggest challenge you've had to deal with in your journey? What's that been?
Yeah, I would say most women would agree with me that we have all dealt with some sort of very obvious or very subtle discrimination. We have all been the target of microaggressions. We've all been the target of maybe political blackballing or naysayers who have prejudged what we're capable of, who have um, not given credence to our purpose, our passion. And so, like me, I think there are a lot of women out there who draw upon those experiences to have a sense of strength, to have a sense of resilience. And I would say that I certainly have had my fair share of people in my life, especially in a corporate setting, who have been, they have dismissed me, they've demeaned me, they've not considered me worthy, and it's some of those early experiences that I think put a bit of a fire in my belly, and also I think gave me the purpose to develop a community like LeadHERship Global, where women do have a sense of belonging, they do have a safe space to be themselves. And I think that we as people, and certainly as women, need a place that we can feel safe, where we have a community of our people, where there's something in common with that group that bonds you. And so I would say for me, my biggest challenge has been sometimes not feeling safe, sometimes not feeling heard, sometimes not feeling valued. And being the target of microaggressions, being the target of naysayers, being the target of, all kinds of, I think, unfair corporate practices that demean women, dismiss women, that do not give favor to women. And the good news, I guess, of some of those experiences is that now we have created, I think, a organization that certainly holds each woman responsible for creating her own success. We can show quite a bit of tough love, but at the same time, we are great at investing in the success of other women. And we are welcoming to people who are really great at what they do, but maybe they don't look like me. They don't have my background. They don't have my education or the same network I do. And they're still valued. They're still considered worthy. We still embrace them because it does take a village. It takes people who are different from us. It takes those people to counteract our unconscious bias, to open up our minds to other ways of thinking, to further diversify our own network, and to be open to listening to their life experience.
Yes. Beautifully said. Thank you for that. Yes, and we all have gone through that. So, well, thank you. All right. Well, I want to ask you two final questions, and then we'll give the audience a chance to learn more, how to get in contact with you and how to follow you. And so the first question is, how do you live the I Have Today way, which is intentionally in the present moment? And if you wouldn't mind, start it with, I have today too.
I have today to deeply invest in accelerating the success, the joy, the reward, and fulfillment of the leaders around me. And I feel like every day I wake up with the privilege, honestly, the honor of deeply investing and accelerating the success of other women. It is an honor. And I think, as Zig Ziglar said, you can get everything in life you want if you simply help enough other people get what they want. And that is absolutely what we have found. It's by activating our own power tribes, our own board of advisors. It's about activating that success circle and then being intentional about investing in these relationships and ensuring that you are purposefully accelerating the success of the women around you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. And then what do you wish more people knew?
I wish more people knew of their own power. I wish more people really understood that they are divine beings here on earth with a single purpose. And that purpose is not about achieving a title or a certain bank account amount or living in a particular neighborhood or having a house of a certain square footage. Our purpose, our destiny, our fulfillment is about the God-given talents and gifts that we were each given and using them to the fullest. It's about investing in the advancement of humanity and in the fulfillment and reward of those around us. And I believe that there are times where people doubt their power. They doubt their ability to make an impact and make a difference, but it's absolutely within the grasp of each and every one of us to create incredible impact, to be the light in this world for those people that may have given up hope, that may be facing something incredibly daunting and challenging. And we have the opportunity to be their hope, to be their guide, to be their strength, to be their rock. And that is our purpose. And I really wish that everyone on the planet recognized that infinite opportunities and the infinite power that they have inside them.
Amen to that. Yes. Wow. Well, Linda, this has been an extraordinary interview and time together. Thank you for all of this insight. How can people learn more about you? Where can they find you? On your website?
The best place is, yes, our website, which is LeadHERship Global. So a little play on the word leadership, just add an H, LeadHERshipGlobal.com. And of course, you can find me on LinkedIn and all the other social platforms. And you're welcome to drop me a note on LeadHERship Global on LinkedIn, or me personally, Linda Fisk, or go to our website, which is LeadHERshipGlobal.com.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here today and empowering the audience and enlightening us. And you are just, magnificent in the work that you do. And I'm so grateful that we are on this journey together. Really, truly. Yeah.
Me too, Diane, very much. I'm proud to be your partner, your advocate. I am proud to be in community with you. And I am so proud and absolutely thrilled to be a part of this network, which is creating such impact in the world. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, she's just amazing. Just absolutely love her. Isn't that so empowering? She's created this all on her own, took problems in the world and created solutions and created community and is creating massive impact in the world. And so I hope that has inspired you not to live small and silent anymore, to step up into your leadership position and to surround yourself with other leaders who are like-minded, who want to see you shining as bright as you possibly can, like we do here, and living to your highest, greatest, fullest potential. And so on that note, one of the things that I want to share, as proud as I am of our television network and the work that we're doing here at I Have Today, both on the TV network and in our Star Academy, is helping you launch your own brilliant, engaging, profitable video platform, aka TV show, and why TV is so powerful. Having a program like this, long form content where you can really deliver your message and bring on amazing guests and live and leave your legacy and create, the mission and the impact that you want to create in the world. And so one of the things that I have for you is if you're already on video, already shooting video, whether it's a TV show or social media or whatever your platform is, or you should be and you're not yet, I've got my 7 keys to become a dynamic host, TV host. And so it's up there on the screen right now. And this is absolutely free. You follow these 7 key secrets and you will be in the top 1% of people who actually show up on camera. You will show up like a star. So you can get it there. It's at tvstarhost.com tvstarhost.com/secrets, tvstarhost.com/secrets. So we'll make sure to have that in the notes as well. Well, this has been a really powerful episode, and I'm about to do our mantra meditation. So for those of you who are driving, obviously you cannot participate, but for everybody else, and what I want to ask you to do is stop the distractions. We're going to take about 3 minutes right now and get grounded and centered, intentional, and we'll anchor in what we experienced today so you can leave here shifted and ascended and improved and inspired and certainly empowered. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through this really quickly. We're going to do 2 rounds of breath. The first part is you're going to breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. And as you're breathing that in, I want you to pull the air all the way down to your tailbone, which is your root chakra area, okay? And as you're breathing in, I want you to imagine it's like the mist of a rainbow. All those colors, the cool mist, it's going to feel really good. And then I want you to hold it for the count of 8. And as we're holding it for the count of 8, we are going to be sending energy to all 8 of our chakras, starting with our root, our sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and soul star, which sits about a foot or so above your head. Very important one to clear that energy and residue there. That's your receptor. That's the receiver of information, ideas, solutions to problems. So powerful. So as we do that for the count of 8, then we're going to breathe out for the count of 8 as if you're blowing out birthday candles. Like, don't do it softly, do it hard. And I want you to imagine that any toxic energy, trapped trauma, negative emotions, pain from the past, unforgiveness, regret, any of that is coming up and out of your body, because we do trap emotions in our body and that causes illnesses. So we want to breathe it up and out. It's going to feel really, really good when we do this. So we're going to do this 2 times. All right. So put your feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap, face them down if you feel grounded. Turn them up if you want to receive more energy, and gently close your eyes. Now breathe in for 4 through your nose. Here we go. Hold it and send energy to your chakras for the count of 8. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blow it out. Blown out birthday candles. For 8 seconds. Should feel really good and really light. All right, let's do that one more time. Breathe in for 4. Pull it all the way down and send that energy to your chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe it out for 8. Keep your eyes closed. Just listen to the words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to surround myself with powerful leaders. I know that no one grows as a leader alone. It's just not possible. It's so much better, faster, and easier with support. To feel accepted, supported, guided, encouraged will make me grow exponentially. That my ideas are really good and that I do need community. I need both the small, intimate, personal communities as well as the larger business networking communities. And I'm going to follow Linda Fisk and everything that she said today, because she just taught me so much about the power and influence of being in communities like this together. That it affects my well-being, and that there are days and moments that I don't feel like doing it and I don't feel worthy and I don't think it's possible. And my community is going to be there to help and support me and let me know that yes, I can. I can do it. and that women together are so much better. We lift each other up. We're so good at problem solving. We're so good at seeing the potential and the opportunity in everyone. And that together we can grow in our business, in our profitability, and our productivity. And that's what I want. So I have today to acknowledge that this is the way I'm going to live now and from this day forward, and that I am going to surround myself with powerful leaders because I already am one. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much to my guest, Linda Fisk, for being here from LeadHERship Global, and to you, my beautiful audience, for being here. You mean the world to me, and we are nothing without you. Make sure you're following us at I Have Today with Diane Forster. We are on the I Have Today TV network on E360 TV, and you can find us everywhere, and also our podcast. And you can find out more information about me at my website, DianeForster.com, and on social media at Diane Forster Official. Until next time, have a beautiful today. Take care. Bye-bye.